was in Carmel, California, and I was in bed. It's dark outside. It's winter when all of a sudden the baby stops being like this squawky newborn and starts being a baby. And like all of a sudden they are like awake, rise and shine for the day. And I was like, oh, I've completely changed my life.
Hi, I'm really glad you're here. This is a brand new show that we made especially for parents and parents-to-be in those first few weeks and months around having a baby. That third trimester, that foggy newborn stage, that stretch where everything feels new and close to the surface. And each episode starts with a thought, the kind of thought that shows up at 2 a.m., the kind that you don't always say out loud, the kind that can make you wonder if something's wrong with you. Today, that thought is, oh my goodness, my whole life has changed, and nobody even told me this would happen. If you've ever had that sentence run through your head, even once, I want you to hear this. You're not the only one. When that thought shows up, it can feel scary. It can feel lonely. It can feel wrong. It can feel like it means something about who you are as a person. In this episode, we're going to name that thought, and we're going to hear one parent's story. So you've proof you're not the only one. And we're going to slow it all down enough to make it feel just a little less complicated. If you can, save this for a quiet moment, or a hard moment, or a middle of the night moment. And think of this as a friendly voice in your ear. Today, that voice belongs to writer and chef Caro Chambers. She's the author of the book, What to Cook When You Don't Feel Like Cooking, in the Substack of the same name. And as she puts it, she's a mom of 4 beasts. Tell me a little bit about who Caro Chambers was before your first baby.
Ooh, okay. I did whatever I wanted whenever I wanted. That's who I was.
I mean, chef's kiss about pre-child life. Okay, and at that point in your life, pre-motherhood, paint me a picture, like all the details. It doesn't even have to be the most representative of a moment before having kids where you're like, I felt really productive today. I feel really worthy. Like I got something done.
Oh, great. Okay, so a worthy day pre-kids was like I had a morning routine that I would actually stick to. Like I used to set an alarm, wake up, have a cup of coffee, exercise, get home. If I was exercised, bathed, hair ready to go for the day by 9 a.m., I was like, I'm crushing. Like today will be the best day ever.
And just to stick on that, how many reps do you think your body had of doing that and associating that with worth and productivity before you had a child?
That's such a great, I mean, how old was I when I had my first kid? 29. I would say I started doing that as a young professional living in New York City.
Yeah.
At 21. It was wake up, exercise, get showered, go to work. And so 9 years of
So I'm going to make up 9 times 300. Let's say you did 300 days. 9 times 3 is 20. This is 2,700 reps of doing it. It probably going according to plan because there weren't that many variables. And then your body learning that was productivity and worth. I have a feeling we're going to circle back to that.
Okay.
Okay. Anything that you assumed would just come naturally when you became a mom?
All of it. I am not I'm not a planner. I'm extremely opposite of type A. I just kind of roll with things as they come. And I remember this baby being here and I felt like a broken shell of a human, my bladder was all messed up and my boobs were crazy and everything was so messed up in my own body that I remember just looking at this baby and being like, they're going to let us take it home? What? I don't know how to do it. I don't know what to do with this thing or what it wants when it cries. And I felt extremely overwhelmed by that at the beginning. There is so much that happens in your own body. And that I had no idea about. I was like, oh, you have the baby and it hurts when you have the baby. I was like, oh yeah, you scream, you get the baby out and then it's over. No, you've only, sometimes that is only just the beginning. And that I had no idea about. So I don't I think I felt so selfish in those first weeks because I thought about myself like all the time. Like I thought about, oh my gosh, why are my boobs so engorged? Why is this happening? Why is that happening? Am I ever going to pee normally again? Like, why do I keep peeing myself every time I laugh? Like, is any of this normal? And I had no idea that any of that was coming. So I think I pictured this cozy little bubble with a baby. And really, I ended up thinking about myself a lot.
Yeah. The baby was the subject.
Yes.
Like no one told you to think about you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's exactly it. I imagined thinking about the baby all the time, having these like cozy, cuddly moments with my husband and the baby. And yeah, it really felt like I thought about myself a lot more than I thought I could.
Yeah. I want to know if you can take a moment to think about a night, a morning, whatever it was that's still now for that first child, like you can still remember.
Okay. So I'm a sleeper. Well, I used to be a sleeper. I really slept in this morning and I was like, I used to do this. Like I used to actually do this on the weekends. I would like really sleep in. And I remember very specifically, once the newborn starts to like kind of figure out when they want to wake up for the day, like they go from just sleeping every 2 hours to like having this moment where they actually like open their eyes and they're awake for the day.
Yeah.
And it's usually around like, I think 2 weeks. I remember like at 6:30, this baby was like awake and needed like to be taken care of and attention. And I was like, oh, I've completely changed my life. Like I have completely, like I did not think about the fact that I now like, I don't just get to sleep if I want to sleep. Right. And I don't just get to go to the gym if I want to go to the gym or, whatever it is. Like I have this thing to take care of all the time. And I remember so specifically, it was like when the baby like woke up for the first time.
Where were you?
I was in Carmel, California, and I was in bed. And I like so specifically remember, like at first you can always kind of nurse the baby back to sleep, or bottle the baby back to sleep. And then like all of a sudden, I'd feed him and he was still awake. And I was like, oh no, this is a whole different beast.
Yeah.
Like now what am I supposed to do with you?
Yeah.
I have to like entertain you.
And so you're in bed. Mm-hmm. It's dark outside?
Oh yeah, it's dark outside. It's winter.
But okay, it's 6:30 in the morning.
6:30 in the morning.
And you're not someone who's like the 6:30 rise and shiner. No. And so even for the first 2 weeks, maybe there was a call out from your baby, but you're like half awake, half asleep, just like nursing back to bed, bottling. And then you kind of go back. It's like kind of, did that happen or not? It's like a little half conscious.
Exactly.
But this was different.
This was different. This was like that moment when all of a sudden the baby stops being like this squawky newborn and starts being a baby. And like all of a sudden they are like awake, rise and shine for the day. And you're like, oh, I wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah.
We're here together now.
And so if I don't even know if this is the right word, had a camera or like something recording inside your brain, that first morning at 6:30 when this happened, when you're like, this is not going according to plan.
Yeah.
What am I hearing? What's the thought?
Oh, well, I definitely remember having some very like big thoughts. Like I remember thinking like I've completely changed my entire life and like no one really warned me that was happening. Like I definitely remember thinking like, was I actually ready to do this? Like, was I ready to 100% change my life, have somebody else depending on me all the time? But yeah, I definitely remember just thinking like, whoa, my full life has changed. And was I ready for this?
And no one told me.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I signed a contract without, like there was some fine print in there. Yes. Or like they snuck it in.
Where was this?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And just the language you just used really strikes me. Because when I think about, like, I remember it's probably like 3 weeks in. And I remember my sister-in-law coming into my room. I was like, feeding my baby. And she was just like very innocently like, how's it going? It's like 4 p.m.
Yeah.
And it was, it was the fall. So, it was that 4 p.m. like dread. And I was like, oh, it is not good.
It's not good.
And she was younger than me, didn't have kids. And a little, she's like, oh, okay. Like then anticipate this conversation. But I picture my moment, which on the surface is different than your moment. But there's one moment where the stories you tell yourself are so big.
Yeah.
Am I cut out to do this? Like, do good parents feel this way? Like, and I feel like that moment's truth felt like the forever truth. Like I was going to feel this way ever.
That feeling in brand new motherhood is so terrifying and suffocating. It's the like, I'm going to feel this way forever.
Yes.
It keeps going, right, into toddlerhood. Like, oh, he's going to act like a little dementor at dinner every single night. Like, those feelings continue, but there's none as raw as in brand new motherhood when you're like, oh, I'm going to feel like I'm not cut out for this or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right? Or he's going to scream at 4 p.m. every single night for 30 minutes forever.
Yep.
It feels so intense.
It is
suffocating.
Whenever I say that to a new parent around like the forever truth, they're like, I know that's why it feels so awful, I think, right? Because if something felt awful, but then your next thought was, but I won't feel like this forever. Like you're like, oh, I'm immediately able to deal with it.
And the newborns go through so many stages, right? I remember being so addicted to the Wonder Weeks app with my first because it like kind of tells you, you know, your baby's just learning to open their eyes, so they're seeing the world. So it's like overwhelming for them, whatever. It like tells you these things. You know, since that first baby, I've backed off of that and just been like, this is a moment. This is a phase. It might be an hour. It might be 2 weeks, but like this fussiness is going to pass. This like inability to fall asleep without me being attached to them is going to pass. I had such bad postpartum anxiety. Like I got up and checked on his breathing 20 times a night. I had like all the monitors, the owlet on his foot, the, you know, camera looking down at him. Like I had all the monitors, and I realize now that that was perpetuating the problem so much for me. Because I felt like if I wasn't looking at the monitors, then something bad would happen.
When the solution kind of becomes the problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because I'd be like out at lunch having really nice time with a friend. The baby would be perfectly happy. And I'd be like, I got to get home. You know, in 15 minutes, he's going to be overtired and then he'll never fall asleep. And I like wrote.
And then it'd be up all night.
And it'd be up all night and then I'll never sleep. And then I'll turn into a monster tomorrow. And da-da-da-da-da. And you really psych yourself out. And you tell yourself these stories.
Right.
Of like, if this happens, that'll happen. And like, it's usually not true.
Yeah. When we're in hyper-vigilance mode, right? Everything could be a problem. So everything needs a proactive solution.
Yes. God, that's exactly
I'm happy here with my friend, but this could mean that. And I got into like optimizing moments where my baby would be on a playmat.
Oh.
Perfectly happy.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, I'm going to go at this thing. I feel like now when I see him, I was like, when the baby is happy, sit down, drink your coffee, call your friend. Like, no, I wish I didn't. There's so many moments I have to go to your baby.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. This is, I think, one of the trickier things during the newborn days are like the relationship with your partner, right? Like you just become enemies for no reason, but I'm sure you can tell me exactly why we become enemies, but we do. I so remember my husband with that first baby with Mattis was so good at if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If that baby was happy on his playmat by himself in a room 2 rooms away, that's where he was. And I was like, you don't want to, I'd wake up, you know, George always would let me sleep in the morning. I'd come out and he would be like not talking to the baby, not engaging with the baby. And I'd be like, you're a monster.
Neglect.
You're a monster. Child abuse. CPS. Come get this man. Like, and it was completely, that's such disordered thinking. Like, no, this baby is learning. It's teaching itself things. It's looking at the lights. It's like doing whatever. Or it's doing nothing. And that's also fine.
Yes.
Like it's literally just laying on the mat maybe. And that's also fine because it's happy. And George was like reading the paper, drinking his coffee, which was going to make him a better human for the day. Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I'm so often triggered when I see something in someone that I really have trouble giving myself permission to do.
Oh.
And I know for me in that first month, I remember I also would get mad at my husband just sitting there. The words that come to mind, lazy.
Oh, lazy.
Right? Neglectful, not caring.
Oh, yeah.
And if I could go back, I'd say to myself, like, I need to be inspired by my husband here, not judgmental of my husband.
Truly. And also, like, God, my hormones go cuckoo bananas. Like, I am really, and after the first baby, I remember looking at George and being like, remember, I will be a little bit crazy the next month. Like, I will say things that I don't mean. I will blow up at you. I will, like, I will do a lot of things, and it's because my hormones are raging.
Yes.
And I always be gentle with me. And he's like, okay. And I can see him now, like after that first baby, I can see him like taking a deep breath when I do the really, why aren't you playing with me? Because I still do it, even though I like with this baby, I remember just being like, don't you want to play with him? And he's like, poor George. He's like, no, I just want to drink my coffee.
Yeah.
While the baby's
It's like the wisdom to say to your partner, hey, the next number of weeks, like,
yes,
my body's going to, but it comes from your awareness that so much of what happens after is about you,
yes,
not the baby.
Yeah.
The next number of weeks, I'm going to be emotional,
yes,
hormonal. I'm going to say things because my body's in like survival mode.
Fight or flight.
That,
and I'm
like,
fighting you.
Yeah. In a grounded state, like I wouldn't say. So just keep that filter. So I want to take this moment now, you right here, looking back on that first 6:30 a.m. Oh my goodness moment. When you think about that version of you, what stands out?
Oh gosh. I always think about like going back and how I just wish that I could put into her brain like what my brain has now of like, you are doing everything right. Like you don't have to get up and make biscotti, literally lay in the bed and chill. This is my fourth baby that I just had. And with my second baby and third baby, I like had that wisdom of like, everything's going to be fine. I had such a more chill, enjoyable postpartum experience, but I like really got back to work quickly. I was like building this business. I was growing my Instagram. I was starting a Substack. I was doing all these things, and I got back to work really quickly. And with this fourth, even though it was the busiest that I've ever been and, the most high pressure, whatever that I've ever been in, I really set myself up for maternity leave. So I had like guest chefs come in, take over. I had a whole team in place to really take over. And I truly took still only 8 weeks, but for an entrepreneur, for somebody who works for themselves, like that's a lot.
Yeah.
And I took an 8-week maternity leave, and I genuinely laid in bed for a month straight. Like I hardly left my bedroom for a month, and I genuinely like chilled, and it was like the coolest thing ever to like actually have that time and relax with the baby. So I don't know. I wish I could go back and tell her like, just lay there.
So if you've ever had this thought, the one that says, my whole life has changed and nobody even told me this would happen, you're not the only one. You now know Caro Chambers has had it too. And if you're listening before your baby arrives, just know you might have this thought or a thought like this at some point. And if you do, just keep this in mind. Nothing is wrong with you. This thought doesn't mean you don't love your baby. It doesn't mean you're ungrateful, and it doesn't mean you made a mistake. Becoming a parent changes you. And when something changes you that deeply, complicated thoughts come with it. Your story may look different, and your hard moments may sound different, but they're real, and they still count. We are all moving through this in our own homes at our own hours, but we are not doing it alone. Let's end the way we always do. Place your feet on the ground, place a hand on your heart, and let's remind ourselves, even as we struggle on the outside, we remain good inside. I'll talk to you next time.